So in today's video, I'm going to be previewing Tranmere Rovers versus Bradford City. Then in the second part of today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys my Game Week 11 League 2 score predictions. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you're trying to 80 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction for this match and what would your starting 11 be as well. Would you make any changes? I personally feel changes do need to happen after such a disappointing display against Walsall, where it was a massive contrast to the performance last week, the previous week against Newport. We played really well against Newport, brought into this match against Walsall, and we absolutely stunk up the place. So this one against Tranmere is an absolute must-win for Matt Hughes. We need to be more consistent. We need to go on a run now, and that needs to start tomorrow night against Tranmere, who are on a terrible run at the moment. They've had a terrible season so far under Nigel Adkins as their interim manager. But make sure to drop a like on there for me, subscribe if you are new as well, and let's get into it. Starting out then with the current Sky Bet League 2 table. My team Bradford City, we currently sit 14th in the table. After 10 games, we've got 3 wins, 4 draws and 3 defeats, scoring 11 goals and conceding 12, leaving us on a -1 goal difference and 13 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a loss, a win, a draw and a draw. If we compare that then to Tranmere Rovers, they currently sit 23rd in the Sky Bet League 2 table, occupying that final relegation spot at the moment. After 10 games, they've got 2 wins, no draws, 8 defeats, 13 goals scored and 19 goals conceded, which is one of the worst in the whole league. That leaves them on a -6 goal difference and 6 points. The last couple of matches then have been a loss, a win, a loss, a loss, a loss, and also a loss. In terms of both sides, the last couple of matches then, our recent matches were a 3-1 defeat against Walsall, a 2-0 defeat at home to Middlesbrough in the third round of the EFL Cup, a 4-1 win away at Newport County, a 1-1 draw at home to Harrogate Town, a 1-1 draw at home to Grimsby Town, and a 0-0 draw away at Mansfield Town. Comparing that then to Tranmere Rovers, their last couple of matches then have been a 4-1 defeat away at AFC Wimbledon. Jordan Turnbull getting sent off in that match, so he's definitely going to be banned for this one. They also beat Accrington Stanley 2-0 at home. He went down to 10 men in that one. They had a 3-2 defeat away at Crawley, a 2-0 defeat away at Colchester, a 2-0 defeat away at Fleetwood in the Football League Trophy, getting a man sent off in that one. And then just before that, they had a 1-0 defeat at home to Wrexham. So a terrible start to the season so far for Tranmere, who are probably looking to get into that top 7 at the start of the campaign. But now we're going to get into the team, though, that I would go with if I was Mike Hughes. Now, the formation at the moment seems pretty set to be the 4-2-3-1. And in goal, I've gone with Harry Lewis. Now, if we had the option of potentially someone who is competent in playing as a goalkeeper at League 2 level, other than Harry Lewis, I might have potentially selected them. But obviously, Colin Doyle is way past it and he's more of a goalkeeping coach. And Heath Richardson has barely come out of academy football. So Harry Lewis has to stay in between the sticks despite how many mistakes he has made so far this season. You could argue he's at fault for all 3 goals against Walsall. Certainly the first and the third. He needs to be much better from set pieces. He needs to be much more commanding, in my opinion. And he seems to have lost all confidence in himself. But as of right now, he's our only real option. So he has to stay in between the sticks. Into the back 4 then. At right back, I've gone with Brad Halliday. The only real player who can take away any credit from that last match against Walsall. He's the only one who was really above a 6 out of 10, if we're honest. He was the only one who really tried for the full 90 minutes. I'm a big fan of Brad Halliday. Great to see him finally getting the recognition that he does deserve, so I'd stick with him at right back. Into my 2 centre-backs then. Firstly, I've gone with Jonathan Tompkinson. I think Platt needs to come out now for me. He's making far too many mistakes that have led to goals recently, and then in the last match against Walsall, too many sloppy passes, and we're told Jonathan Tompkinson is a ball-playing defender, so we need to get him in this side, and I think this one would be the perfect opportunity to bring him in. And pairing him, I've gone with Sam Stubbs. It wasn't his greatest game in the world against Walsall. You could argue he could do a little bit better for a few moments in the match. Gave the ball away a few times in sloppy areas, but overall, he is our best centre-half in a back 4, certainly from what I've seen in my opinion. So I'd stick with him at centre-back. And at left-back, I've obviously gone with Liam Rideout. Lewis Richards still unavailable. He's going to be out for another 2 or 3 weeks, I would have thought, with that groin injury. So for now, until then, Liam Rideout is going to have to play. While I don't think he's the greatest, he's not been too bad over the last couple of matches, to be fair to him. So let's see him start once again against his former side. Moving on then into my 2 holding midfielders. Firstly, I have gone with Richie Small. Now, this one might come as a little bit of a shock. I'm sure some people might not like that, but in my opinion, I think this is the best game to bring him back in for. Obviously, Kevin McDonald can only play 1 game a week, so he can't play this one after playing a decent amount of the game on Saturday. and you look at your other options in there, you need someone who's going to be a bit more defensive and a bit more of a ball winner. So that is why I've gone with Smallwood. Give him another opportunity because I certainly think he plays better away from home rather than at home. So I like to see him come back into the side. And partnering him, I've gone with Alex Patterson. He needs to come back into the side now. We need his goal threat in there. And Gilead, for me, had a good game against Newport, but didn't do enough against Walsall to keep himself in that side. And Patterson is a very, very good player, so he needs to come back into this team, in my opinion. Moving on then into the front three behind the striker. On the right wing, I've gone with Bobby Poynton. Clark-Adore was absolutely woeful against Walsall, so he definitely needs to come out. Whether it's for Wilson or Poynton, I'm not really too sure, but when the fans are starting to get angry, putting in someone like a Bobby Poynton to, you know, give the fans a little bit of a boost, I think is a smart thing to do for Mark Hughes. And then if it's not working after an hour, 70 minutes, that's when you look to bring on someone like an Adam Wilson. But obviously, Bobby Poynton has been very good in the games that he has played so far this season, so I definitely do trust him to make an impact. Just potentially, if it doesn't, you do need that option on off the bench. In that attacking midfielder role then, I've gone with something a little bit left field. I've gone with Tyler Smith. Now, I think in possession, it'll certainly be more two strikers, but when we're defending, it will be Smith that drops in a little bit more, in my opinion. But Walker, for me, hasn't been good enough over this season so far, if I'm being honest. I need to see more from Jamie Walker. I think Smith Walker is a bit more of a goal threat and take a little bit of pressure off Andy Cook in terms of them runs in behind. If Cook is being dealt with by the centre halves, Walker isn't busy enough sometimes. I like to see Smith come in there, very busy player, and if he's playing as more of an attacking midfielder, he will certainly help us out defensively, so I think that one could work out very nicely, in my opinion. And on the left wing, I've gone with Rehan Tulloch. From pretty much every game I've seen him play so far, I've been quite impressed with him. Even on Saturday against Walsall, he wasn't too bad, but he didn't really get many opportunities to get 1v1 and get at the defenders. When he did, he obviously won a penalty for us. I do think he's a good player. I think he's going to go down as one of our better signings from the summer just gone by, so I'd like to see him start on the left wing. And up front, I've obviously gone with Andy Cook. We've obviously Vidane Oliver not being available at the moment. Chisholm Afoka has looked poor in the games that he's played. Matt Derbyshire way past it. Cook is your only other real option, and you're not going to play Smith as a lone striker if Cook is available. And he loves a goal against his former clubs. Scored one at the weekend against Walsall, and he'll look to do it once again in this one against Tranmere. But Tranmere, one of the few clubs whose fans actually still quite like Andy Cook, so I'd see him lead the line for us once more. On the bench then for me, that'd leave Colin Doyle, Daniel Ugoke, Kieran Kelly, Alex Gilead, Adam Wilson, Jamie Walker, and Chisholm Afoka. The players currently unavailable are Lewis Richards, Harry Chapman, Vidane Oliver, and the players who would miss out from the squad then through selection would be Heath Richardson, Harvey Rowe, Matty Platt, Ash Taylor, Kevin McDonald, Emmanuel Sidibe, Clark-Adore, Dylan Yumbe, and Matt Derbyshire. Now let's get into my Game Week 11 League 2 score predictions. Starting out then with Crewe Alexandra versus Gillingham FC. I'm going to back the Gills for a 2-1 away win. Doncaster Rovers versus Crawley Town. I think will be a comfortable 2-0 home win for Rovers. Grimsby Town versus Barrow AFC. I think will be a 3-1 away win for the Bluebirds. Harrogate Town versus AFC Wimbledon. I'm going to back Johnny Jackson's side for a 2-0 away win. Mansfield Town versus Wrexham AFC. I'm going to back the Stags for a 3-1 home win. Morecambe FC versus Accrington Stanley. I think finishes in a 1-1 draw. Newport County versus Colchester United. I think finishes in a 3-1 away win for Col U. Notts County versus Swindon Town. I think finishes in a high-scoring 4-2 home win for Notts County. Stockport County versus Forest Green Rovers. I think finishes in a comfortable 3-0 home win for Stockport. Sutton United versus Salford City. I think finishes in a 1-0 away win for Salford. Tranmere Rovers versus Bradford City. I think finishes in a 2-0 away win for the Bantams. Fingers crossed we can get back to winning ways. And Walsall FC versus MK Dons. I'm going to go with a shock 1-0 home win for the Saddlers. But that is where I'm going to leave it for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could channel 80 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction for this match and what would your starting 11 be as well. Would you make any changes from last Saturday's defeat against Walsall? Thank you all very much for watching today's video. Have a great rest of your day and I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.